Yeah. Sheesh. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Da, 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 da. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Da, 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 da. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Da, 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 da. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Da, 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 da. We gon' move like this, like this, like this. Yeah, we gon' move like this, like this. Oh, yeah. Da, 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 da. We gon' move like this, like this, like this. Yeah, we gon' move like this, like this. Oh, yeah. Da, 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 da. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Da, 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 da. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Da, 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 da. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Da, 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 da. Watch us how we move like this. Watch us how we move. Oh, yeah. Da, 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 da. We gon' move like this, like this, like this. Yeah, we gon' move like this, like this. Oh, yeah. Da, 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 da. We gon' move like this, like this, like this. Yeah, we gon' move like this, like this. Oh, yeah. Da, 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 da. Huh.
Hello, everyone. Are we here?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, okay. Thank you so much, Dennis. You seem to be the only one.
No, see,
And yeah, so I'm going to welcome everyone. So, good evening and welcome to another edition of the National Cancer Control Plan Thursday Live. This program actually happens every Thursday, and we enjoin you all to hook up 7 p.m. Thursday so that you can see and hear for yourselves what is happening in the cancer space in Nigeria. And today we are having a conversation about the people who are often standing just behind the cancer champions. And yes, we are all cancer champions, all to the glory of God. So we are bringing in the people who care for us, encourage, accompany, worry, sacrifice, and sometimes quietly struggle alongside us. So we see the courage of cancer champions, we celebrate their resilience, but behind many of those stories is another story, the story of a caregiver. So tonight we are asking a simple but important question. What is it really like to care for someone with cancer? And so our three guests are cancer champions, like I mentioned earlier, including myself, a two-times breast cancer survivor, and also behind their own cancer journeys and how they have been faring and everything. And so that is what we are going to do today. You are going to give me a minute, please. And so let them start introducing themselves. And so we are going to start with Miriam. All we need from you is tell us exactly, just briefly, if somebody meets you for the first time, how would you introduce yourself to that person? Briefly, because there's a lot of discussion that is going on today. So let's hear you, Mariam.
Sorry, I didn't know my mic was off. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Madam President. My name is Mrs. Mariam Oluwaseun Salami Atwande. I am a breast cancer survivor. I'm also an advocate. I'm the founder of Mariam Atwande Cancer Support Foundation. Period.
Great. A powerful voice in the cancer space. And let's meet you. That is,
Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, my name is Dennis Olise. I am a prostate cancer survivor and a cancer champion. My cancer journey has been one of the most challenging, experience in life. It has also taught me some things, about life, you know, about family, and about the importance of having somebody around you. So for me, that person has always been, or it is my wife. We often celebrate, just as you said, we often celebrate, survivors and this, but they are the backbone, the secret weapon behind the survival of cancer champions. And I think that is what we are here to discuss today. Thank you.
oh, beautiful. So it's your dear darling wife that he was your care that has been and is still your caregiver.
Yes.
Wonderful. And let me hear from Elizabeth.
Hi everyone. Good evening. Good afternoon, wherever you're connecting from. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Elizabeth Ugomaweje, but I think you just call me Duchess. Yes, Duchess. Social media influencer, breast cancer advocate, hairstylist, music. Like I'm jack of all trade. Yes, but let's say that I'm an advocate. Yes, so I'm so happy to share my cancer journey with you all. Thank you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Duchess says she's the jack of all trades, right? And you didn't complete it. You're supposed to say master of all. I hope Duchess does a lot of things and she does them so well. It's like whatever she puts her hands on, just keeps on moving. So, we have seen and heard from our cancer champions who have been doing a lot, and we are not just going to talk about them today. They have made their introductions, and Denise had even gone ahead to tell us outrightly who is his caregiver. So beautiful. So we're going to go to the next segment. We are done with introduction. Am I supposed to introduce myself? Okay, my name is Gloria Oji Nwajiogu, and I am a 16 years breast cancer, 2 times breast cancer survivor, all to the glory of God. And I am the co-chair of Champions CAP, Community. Oh my goodness, help me out, Dennis. What's the meaning of the CAP? It just keeps I can claim Uncle Brain or Chemo Brain. So remind me, I know it's community something.
Just say cancer champions. You don't need to stretch yourself.
I shouldn't go to Okay, you see, now that I am laughing over it, it's community advisory board. You see, thank God I remembered. So I can make excuses for my uncle brain. So, and today I happen to be the moderator. So most of the experiences are going to come from my guests. And please do well, relax, and let's listen to them. And I'm going to go straight to the question. And that question will start with the last person that did her introduction, talking to Elizabeth, or Duchess, as she is known in the social media world. So Duchess, this question is for you. Take us back to the beginning when you were told you had cancer. Who was the first person you turned to?
Okay, thank you for that question. I will first of all say that my cancer journey, like I wouldn't have gone this far without my caregiver. And I'm so happy that we are having a segment where we're talking about caregivers, because I feel like caregivers are not much appreciated. Like we don't have much programs where we include caregivers in cancer programs. So I'm so happy that we have a space where we can actually talk about it. So I will go back to my journey. My journey started in 2022. I was still in school, 200. I just finished my 200 level in the university. I was trying to, let's go to go for a 300 level. And I noticed a lump, and I don't want to go back because we have so much time. And I was diagnosed with cancer. I remember sitting in the hospital, and the doctor told me that, Madam, it's cancer. And what he said immediately kind of like scared me. He said I have to choose between my life and my breast, that they will remove my breast. Immediately, I just felt like, if they remove your breast, will you even survive? And I was so scared. And so back to my caregiver. My caregiver is my husband. And I remember how, like, before then we just had I just had a miscarriage, and we are still trying to process all of that. Like, oh, okay, both of us were still grieving. And I was like, okay, how will I even tell this man that, okay, it's not like our chances of even having children at the moment will be put to on hold. Now it's cancer. I remember calling him on phone and I told him, babe, they said it's cancer. And his words, like, I'm trying to like what he said, and he said, whatever it is, I don't care the diagnosis, but whatever it is, I'm going to hold your hand while we fight this together. That he's not going to lose his wife, that we are going to come out and share our story, that I should not give up. Like, hope I'm not crying, that she wipe my tears away, that he's coming right away. And those words are words that today it might feel like years back, 2022, but those words are words that I hold dear to me because I can do anything. I can keep fighting because I know that my husband, who is my caregiver, is right here with me every step of the way. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, that's super and very touching. You know, your story hardly resonates with a lot of people because I have been in this space and I can't begin to count the number of cancer champions that I have met. And I have only met few that share the same story like yours. It's always the bad, oh, I was abandoned, oh, my fiance walked away, oh, we canceled our wedding, a lot of things, but yours is unique. Thank you, Mr. Aroeje, for this. This is the kind of stories we love to hear so that it can also encourage us. So I'm going to go over to the man among the women now, Dennis.
Yes.
So I'm going to go over to you. What did your caregiver actually do for you in those early days? Because you've told us much about what your wife, that we already know is your wife now, so no problem. So what was it? Can you help us? You tell us what she did for you in those early days that stuck to you, that you can hardly forget. Let's hear you.
Okay. Mine. I've told the story, over and over again. If not for her anyway, I don't think I'll be sitting here and telling the story. When they keep telling the men that early detection saves lives, that go to the hospital on time. Women, we are naturally very stubborn concerning our health. We can always push people, go to the hospital, go and check yourself, but when it's our own, we don't really do that. And that is typical of me too. I also, when I was having all the symptoms and I was not feeling fine, I know that I was not feeling fine, but the decision to go to the hospital was I keep pushing it. But you know she actually is the one that encouraged me. Even we have to even quarrel. Encourage me to say, look, you have to go to the hospital. It's not all about just sitting down and wishing the old illness away. But she played a very vital role. The one that I can relate most that we actually, when the tests, all the tests, the biopsy and all of that tests came out, and it was almost looking like, look, this is cancerous and it's dangerous. I was like, oh, let me just leave this. The day I had an appointment with the doctor, she insisted that, look, we have to go to the hospital together. I was trying to evade. I didn't want her to go because at the end she might probably want to say one or two things to the doctor, but she insisted, and we went. And that decision, whatever the interaction we had with the doctor at that point in time, helped to take a decision on having a surgery. And she was there with me all through the surgery. She even had to take leave from my office to be there, and took care of me throughout the journey, the surgery and back home. And she still does it. Oh, she's one of she's my angel.
Powerful. Powerful. I love that. You said something that actually struck me. When people are giving information and they are trying to process that information together, it makes things easier. It removes that anxiety of what will my husband say? What will my wife say? Because as at that time, the two of you are hearing it together. The two of you are listening to the doctor. The two of you are asking questions that bothers you. And you guys are hearing each other, your responses. And so it reduces that anxiety of, what if I go home? What will my husband or what will my wife say? So I think that actually works. And how I wish that, doctors and caregivers or medical professional psychologists will think about this. Although I also want to believe that you and your wife are close, and that was why that happened. Because definitely there are some people that will tell you, don't tell my husband I have this, don't tell my wife I have this. So but you people have been able to walk this journey together. So kudos to your wife. I hope she's close by hearing us.
She's not really around.
Oh, great. So let me ask Mariam, over to you. So when did that person realize that this was, you didn't, first of all, you definitely need to tell us about your caregiver before I even ask this question. So Mariam, who is just a straightforward answer. Mariam, who is your caregiver?
So so sorry I didn't put that in the first question. My caregiver was my husband, just like Duchess. Our story is more alike, to be sincere. My husband was my caregiver, or is still my caregiver till date.
Wow. So when did your husband realize that this was going to be more than just taking you to hospital? He has to go the extra mile. A lot of things are going to be happening. The thing is that nobody is ever ready when it comes to cancer diagnosis. Both the patient who was diagnosed and the caregiver. You are hoping is just the normal thing, and all of a sudden it becomes a journey that nobody knows when it's going to end. So when did your husband realize that this was going to be more than just taking you to the hospital?
Okay, so let me start from here. I could remember the day I was given that diagnosis in the hospital. The moment I collected my results, I sat down and I started crying. Like I was wailing in front of the doctor's hospital, the doctor's office. And I'm like, what is this? Should I? The fear that came to me was, should I call this man? Tell him there's another problem. Because before then, I could remember how I had a very serious health issue with my pregnancy and my son, which was fibroid. I almost lost my life, and he stood with me. But I had to summon that courage and call him that day. And I said, babe, it has happened though. They said it is cancer. On the phone, he just said, stop crying. And the thing is, we've walked through a worse journey before, and this will not stop us. I will definitely be there with you. Before you know it, from his office to where I was, in the next 30 minutes, he was already with me. And that was how the whole journey began. So right there, we started asking questions. At a point, I didn't even want to talk. I was cold. By the time we got back home, I was cold. I was distant. It was as if I was in the world of my own. Like, I was afraid of cancer, but I was afraid of what I would put in himself through. Because I'm like, how can I put him through another rigorous, journey with my health and all that? But the moment we started treatment and he realized that, oh, doctors were asking who is going to, okay, the first one, he didn't go with me. But when I came back home and I started talking about, oh, how, people came with family and all that, I was like, oh, seriously, that they will even allow people to stay with you? I said, yes. Then he now understood that the work is not just for me alone, it is for both of us. And at that moment, it will bring one or two of his friends who were with me during my fibroid surgery as well. They will come to the hospital from work because his work is a kind of a serious one. So it couldn't be, it wasn't leaving office all the time, but most times he will make sure he send either his brother or one of his friends who is closer to come and stay with me in the hospital. So you could realize at a point that this journey is not a journey for one person to actually walk. He has to be there, whether he's physically there or he needs to make necessary people available. Yeah. I don't know whether I understand, whether I answer your question.
No, you perfectly, you did. The thing is that it's just like I said when I was introducing the question. This is a journey that nobody is prepared to face it. There's nobody that can say, oh, like marriage, you say, oh, I've prepared for this marriage, I've prepared for this admission to go to school, But when it comes to cancer diagnosis, one, you already know it's a life-threatening disease. You know that it's going to cost you financially, it's going to wear you down. So when it hits you or your caregiver, for some people, that is the deciding moment when they choose to stay or leave. And so kudos to your husband for being there. I just love the whole stories I am hearing because this should be passed out there. Because what we hear so often is abandonment. And I just hope people will be online and watch this and know that it is coming from real. And when I say real in capital letters, not people that are still going around and looking for cancer, real cancer champions. So I'm going to ask one question. So how did you deal with the finances? Mariam, I'm asking you this question. How did you deal with the finances? Yes, I just want to ask you that.
That is actually a very tough one. In my second hospital, when I was giving my bill to be paying for each chemotherapy, it was small to us. We felt like, oh, we can undo it, just around 60K. And we're doing it codedly, me and him alone. But the moment the lump melted, I felt that was the end. And after 5 months, the lump came back. And I got to realize that, oh, I've been treated based on, general treatment with every other person. I had to carry my reports and nobody referred me to the third hospital where I am today. And I, like, beginning again, when doctors gave me a bill of over 1 point something million naira for each chemo, I almost ran mad, to be sincere. And I remember getting home, I said, Oga, now wait till I call him. I said, Oga, at this point, you and I, our salary will not sort this. And I want to leave. I want to leave because my son was just 2 years old. I think, so sorry. When I relive these memories, I tend to get emotional. And I remember that I told him my salary was just about 60-something thousand naira at that point, and I'm supposed to be paying over $1 million naira for one chemotherapy. So I told him, Ross, at this point, I don't want to die. So please allow me to speak up. I don't know, you know how culture, some family will say, don't speak, or we have this in our culture and all that. And because he is from Benue State, I've heard so much. So, but I sat him down and I made him understand that I need people's money to survive. And he gave me the go ahead. He said, whatever it is, let's see what we can bring out from our own salary. Then let's see how we can amplify your voice. Like, put my story out there, seek for help. And that was the beginning for me. To be sincere, I won't be sitting down here today if people did not stood for me. People I never knew. People I would just wake up. I started a GoFundMe. I started another fundraising platform in Nigeria. You will see me on my WhatsApp. I started telling my story. I started asking people, I need to survive, I need to live, and people began to donate for me. It became I was wowed. It was overwhelming at a point, because you can imagine over £1 million for each chemo, and I had to take 6 chemo in my present hospital. And coupled with the fact that I am R2 positive, which is accepting, it was a huge burden. But we move. He would talk to his friend would talk to another friend. People that knew him, that knows that, oh, this is Daniel, and he's been supportive in whatever way. People started coming together to form group to contribute money for us. And to be sincere, I encourage people to do that today. I don't know if it will work for them, but because it worked for me, I believe that there is still humanity out there in people.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they tell us that we Nigerians are not good people, I always disagree. And I disagree because I have seen things happen. I have seen people you don't even know come through for you. Even the people here that you casually know, they come through for you when you are going through difficult moments, difficult challenges like the one that you spoke about now. And so a lot of persons out there are good. And I believe that Nigeria could even do better if only we can even cut down on so much negativity. We are not as bad as we make ourselves out to be. If you ask me, I'm convinced about that. And you say you took the bull by the horn. When you said 1.2 million, I cringed inwardly. I was like, what? How? But just look at what God did. He used people to come through for you. And these are one of the things I tell when people reach out to me and they are like, oh, we need to do this. We don't have money. I say, make the effort. Go out first. Don't say because I don't have money, then you sit back at home. Go to the hospital without money. You don't know what will happen. And I know a lot of people have actually benefited from that. And so I'm going to ask Duchess the next question. Just, I just want you to just say it as you think best, because when we are talking, our own program is not like what is written in a book. It comes from the heart. So however you were able to face it, that is just what we want, because the experiences each and every one of you, our guests, have is unique. And people need to listen to you. People need to learn. People need to gain strength and hope from our discussions and from your stories. So, Duchess, this question is for you. What sacrifices did your caregiver make that you may not have fully appreciated as at that time? I know, when the diagnosis comes, your head is still full. You may not be able to think rightly as at that time. So, what are the sacrifices that your husband made? I don't need to say your caregiver now. Your husband, who is your caregiver, made that you may not have fully appreciated as at that time? Over to you there.
Okay. I think it's a lot. Because I'll first of all start with cancer diagnosis does not really only affect the person that it's been diagnosed. It affects the whole family. like everybody around you. It's affect everybody. And so I would say that my husband, a lot of sacrifice that I wish I had enough time to appreciate him more, because like I started with, like we were just starting, like we're a young couple trying to start up life. I was not working, I was still in school. And so everything was like, we have a whole lot of plans that we had, like 5 years, 3 years, what we wanted to. And I remember even before the diagnosis, my husband wanted to, his dream was, to travel out, and he made a lot of plans. And that same year, 2022, he already had an admission, and to travel out. And it's like, it was a very good, we had all this planned, and I was so excited. Oh my god, I'm going to Jakarta, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do. I had all those planned. But I remember when, after the diagnosis, I saw an email. I saw my husband was, I saw an email, that he have deferred the admission and everything. And it broke me, because that's what he wanted. And I felt so bad that, okay, my diagnosis is going to slow him down. And aside that, you had like comments from family members where, oh, is this your wife that you got married now, is having, from one problem to another, just send her back to her family now, and just kind of comment. And I could see that someone that, in spite of everything, he was defending me, and he shut everybody out that, this is his wife, and we are fighting this together. And he would tell me, anybody that said anything to you, just let me know. And he was there. So I could see that a man that has a whole lot of ahead of him was able to, just put a hold on that and just fight for me. And I would say throughout, from 2022 to 2023, my husband basically, like his next house, like his house was the hospital. Like everybody in National Hospital, like knows my husband. They were like, is he your brother? Because we kind of look alike. So we hear comment like, your brother, and everything. Like he was basically in the hospital with his laptop, he's working, and he's a lawyer. He would go to court, from court and to the hospital. So I could see the sacrifice, and everything that he did. And for me, even me as a patient, I felt like this man had actually sacrificed a whole lot. And I too was fighting, to just like, okay, at least to make sure that he's actually fighting for me to stay alive. Me too, I need to fight to also stay alive. So I'll say my husband, he did a lot of sacrifice for me to come this far, and I'm really grateful.
Wow. Your stories they are so encouraging, and they are so deep. I want to tell you about one of our champions, God rest her soul. She was having crisis when her husband traveled out. And she left this world some weeks after. And so when I hear this kind of story, the kind of sacrifice that your husband made for you, I appreciate it even more, because I have seen and heard those who didn't really think it was worth it. But your husband thought it was really worth it. And here you are. Wow, this is way, 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 way out of this world. So, let me also ask you, Duchess, did you ever, like say, this person that is going through this because of me and so on, did you, because there is this kind of guilt that comes with being a burden to anyone. I personally feel it, especially when I had my second diagnosis. I think that was one of the things that bothered me most. And I felt I was always making my family sad. So I don't know, did you really think that? I felt so guilty. I was like, why do I always have to be a burden? Because when they heard it, everybody was crying. And I was like, why do I always have to be this bearer of bad news that makes my siblings to be unhappy, to be sad, to be crying? So I don't know. Did you think about it? Were your thoughts centered on that at all? Or you were so grateful that he was there?
No, no. I think it's like you said. You also had that like that feeling. I did too. Like at some point, I felt like I was a burden, and I'm this kind of person that I might look quiet, but I love to express my feelings. Yeah. So I remember one day, it was like my second chemotherapy, and I was just dealing with the whole side effect, and I felt so bad about myself, how I looked, and everything. And I could see how he was trying to make me feel good at that time. And I burst out and I was crying that I don't want anybody around. I remember telling my husband to leave, because I felt like I was a burden. Like we've been spending all the money we've saved and everything, we've used it for this. At some point I have to turn to social media and friends, and I just feel like I'm a burden. Everybody we call, the first thing that we ask, like, how's your wife, how you doing, and everything. I just feel like, you know I just, at some point I just feel like maybe if I'm gone, I'm sure this man will not feel like he won't spend that much and everything. And I felt most times we said it out of frustration, because of what we are going through. And, we don't know how to really express. We just want to look for someone to just pour out our the annoyance and everything. And at that point I remember saying, like, just leave me, I don't want any more, I don't want you to do anything, and just leave me and everything. But I think it took, like, he was patient enough to understand that that was not me. I was going through all of that, and I just needed to just look for someone to pour out my annoyance on him. And
Right.
he left the house at that point, but he just maybe kind of like, okay, just calm down, and he left. And when I realized, days as days passed, and I had to, like, apologize and everything. But yes, I felt like I was a burden. I felt like it's because of me that I'm draining this man financially and everything. What have I, since he got married to me, what have I, brought to the table, from just one problem to another? And I felt like that. Yes. So yeah, I felt like a burden at some point.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Dennis, I need you to share your perspective on this too.
I think at every point in time that one is going through this process, we always get to a point that they call it a tipping point, that the frustration just gets into you and you start to pour it down on anybody, especially those people that are around you. That is the what really gets to you. The pressure of, you are not doing anything, and as a man you are just there, bedridden. You feel so frustrated that you want to, vet your anger on people, and the nearest person you vet the anger and the frustration on is the person that is taking care of you. So I, I had almost the same issue too. Then it got a point that I was like, every little thing she did, it was like annoying to me, and it was like, just leave me alone. But it's all part of. I later get to realize that it's just part of the whole process. It just get to a point that you just want to, pour your frustration or your situation on somebody else, and the nearest person to to actually do that is the caregiver. It's really
Unfortunately.
way, but what do we do?
So the nearest person to vent is your caregiver, unfortunately, and I have to put that word, unfortunately.
Yes.
Mariam, did you have such experience? Mariam, are you there?
I
Okay,
think I
it's
entered
okay. I
I'll
think
be crying. I
okay.
felt like that. I felt like I was a burden. At times, I will ask myself, why is he still here, sir? Why is this man still here? Why can't he just walk away? Like maybe if he walks, I might be tempting to give up on myself. But because of his strong will, even when he comes back from work, because before he will go out of the house, he would have probably cooked my all day food and put it beside me because he still have to go to work. And he would tell my neighbor, please, in case there's anything, you should just call me. But I had that feeling several times that I was a burden while he's in the office. I'm calling him, and it's not always easy when you have top bosses, even though they understand that there's somebody at home who is always waiting for him. But it's not always easy, and we pour that anger, we pour that our frustration, on them. They are not the one that gave us cancer, but because we know that at that point, the only thing in our head is how we are going to survive the next day. So everything we are feeling, we pour it on them. So yes, I also experienced that. I felt like I was a burden at a point, and I felt like let him just go. You understand? But thank God he stayed. Thank God he stayed. I'm telling you. Thank God he stayed.
so, and so officially, we are apologizing to all our caregivers for whatever frustration we vented on them as at that time. So,
I'm telling
guys,
you.
ladies, please forgive us. It wasn't
Forgive
intentional, please.
me.
We didn't want
I'm
it to
telling
go.
you.
Unfortunately, you were just there to vent. Please just accept us the way you are. So, on behalf of all cancer champions who are going through this frustration and also making their caregivers to go through hell, we are apologizing on their behalf. Please just pardon us.
Yes, ma'am.
And yes, we are now coming to the crux of the matter. And I want to ask this question. We have talked about how our caregivers they are our rock, they are our hope, they did everything, they went the extra mile, made a lot of sacrifices, cleared their accounts, accepted the new us, followed us to hospital visits, gave us hope when we were down there. But if you look at it, let me say the flip side. These our caregivers are also humans. They have flesh, they are flesh and blood, and they have their own emotions. But when they are taking care of us, we tend to forget about them. We tend to forget that they are also suffering. And if I may put it this way, they are suffering even much more than we do. So, after this, we have spent a lot of time. Even when people come to see us, they will just be looking at us. Oh, Gloria, how are you? Duchess, how are you? Mariam, nobody is remembering them as at that time. They are hovering around, waiting for you to tell them the next thing to do. But does anybody ask them, how are you? And that's why in this journey, I have seen caregivers who left this world even before the person they are caring for leaves. And this is on account of the trauma that they have not been allowed to express. So I'm going to ask this question, and I'm going to start from Dennis. Did you notice moments when your caregiver was tired, afraid, or overwhelmed?
Well, It's actually, so it's like 3 years down the line. At times when I sit down to look back at the old journey, I actually feel, man, this is actually, a journey. The person beside me is the one that actually have been suffering. As a survivor, or during the stage of the surgery, you find out that you are on the bed, you know, but the person that is running around, making sure the doctors are checking up on you, then the urine, when they start to pass the urine and all those stuff, you are just there lying, but anything can happen. But the person beside you is the person that will just be doing all the running around. And for my wife, I actually felt that, for me, I was like, well, if I'm gone, I'm gone. She might just have to pick up the pieces of her life. I know that, but for her, she felt like, look, we just started life, and there's this thing she's always saying that we are going to live 99 years, 90 years. And all this thing now happening, and say, you are not going to leave me. We are going to be here together. We are going to grow old together, and with walking stick and all those stuff. But I actually felt that she's just, secretly and quietly suffering, and she doesn't want to lose me. But the situation I find myself, I'm just in the middle. Anything can happen, but I pray. She spends so much time, praying, and I think that prayer worked. As a Catholic, she didn't move away from the rosary. She prayed and prayed. I prayed that. I was out telling, well, sharing a joke when I was like that. If you can pray that period like this, why? What is happening now? Well, she actually, was there, but I felt all the fear was that, look, I don't want to lose you. So, um, anything it takes, you just have to recover from this and move on. This is just like a temporary happening. The family will continue to go on, and I thank her for that. And that's actually encouraged me. There's this zest for living. If you don't have it, when you are in the hospital, you are gradually losing the
Yeah.
zest to live. So you need somebody to also to push you back and say, look, there's hope. You cannot give up at any particular time. You just have to, continue fight and move on. And before you know it, you are out of it, and things get better. The healing process continues, and gradually you wane off from the drug, the medications, and you start your life, the healthy living, or what do you call it, the part of, the zest for living will now come out.
Yeah.
That is where you need your caregiver very, very close by you all the time. Thank you.
Wow. Powerful. Powerful. So prayers, being having strong faith, telling you you will live 99 years. I like that, honestly. So, Duchess, let me ask you this one. Okay, let me ask you this question, Mariam, not Duchess. You know, was there a time you had to be the caregiver somehow? Like encouraging your caregiver because he was simply down, he had doubts, he was scared, and what was the hardest part of your cancer journey for your caregiver? That's the part that made him, when he remembers it, he practically almost loses it. What was that part?
To be sincere, I think I need to start with something, and that thing is, my husband is someone. When it is somebody is too strong-willed, he is nothing moves him. If the roof is falling, my soul. This is how my husband will be looking at it. He doesn't shake, and I think because of that will he has, He has somehow instilled it in me that he will be telling me that, "Ah, you're too fearful, you're too fearful. Just be strong and all that." So for me, for not at any point did he ever show, that side that he was tired, he was exhausted. But I know all of us are human beings, no matter how strong someone can be. You understand? I didn't understand it then, but looking back, I will say that um he will have his own moments that he never showed me. You understand? His emotions, the uncertainty, the way he will make probably thinking about, oh, will this woman probably survive, or all these things we are doing, will he ever make any positive impact in our life and all that. So for me, he didn't show it to me, but definitely I know say even every strong person somehow they are weak at a point, but he never showed it to me. So I think I give that to him actually. I give that to him. Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one. And I think his strength rubbed off on you. And you would be
Yes,
like, if he can be this strong, why won't I?
I'm telling you.
And
I'm telling
the
you.
next question, Duchess, I want you to tell us, you tactically mentioned it in passing, like you talked about him being you at a time telling him if he wants to go, he goes. So already I knew there was a kind of tension and pressure, but not from him anyway, but from you. So I'm going to ask you something quite personal. How was the intimacy between the both of you after that? But if you don't want to say it, it is fine. So, well, I think it is something we need to kind of put out there because I remembered on our platform a champion saying immediately she had mastectomy, she was the one that packed her kaya out of her husband's room. And when she mentioned it on the platform, I remembered in fact, we all prevailed on her and said, "What are you doing inside of your husband? Did your husband tell you to go?" She said no. He said, "Then why did you leave?" She said she didn't feel like a woman anymore. We said, "Oh yeah, 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 kia, pack your kaya and go back to his room." You understand? And it was a bit, we made light of the situation, but we know that this has been affecting a lot of cancer patients, both the male and the female. So can you throw more light, if you would want to, on your intimacy, the marital tensions that it brought, between you and your caregiver, who is your husband?
Okay, yes. I was like, Amaya, why are you laughing? Because I think topic like this particular one, it's topic that we most time we shy away from, but it's real. And personally, I think I experienced it a lot, and my close cycle, we know that I'm vocal when it comes to intimacy and relationship. And I think I would say that it was a struggle for me, because I had to lose one of my breasts, and it took me a while to even like want to even like undress when my husband is coming, and when he's coming, I'm like, turn the other way, turn, don't look at me. And they were like, it's like, I'm your wife, I've been seeing you. I said, no, I don't want. And it took me a while, like months, for me to even be bold enough, to even like, to show him my scar, because I just felt like that part of me is gone. And I won't say that it was easy. No, it's like I struggle with it. Even with intimacy, I struggle with it. I felt like, and then the cancer was treated for it, like it's hormonal, like receptor positive. So my hormones, my emotion at some point was a struggle. But I think that um I would still say that I really appreciate my husband for his will to, like, he was patient enough to understand that whatever I was going through was part of my journey, was part of it. And he was patient enough to okay, don't worry, you are still the same person. Like, I think, like, I love you, like you as a person, you know, even when your breast is out, like sometimes we just make some funny jokes that he don't even know that one breast is fine too, and we will just laugh about it. And I was like, no, I prefer to, but he just tries to joke about it, you know, to make me feel like, oh, even with the one breast, you are still beautiful, you know. And it took me a while because of how he handled it, and he was patient enough and was like, okay, don't worry, we can go like gentle whenever you are ready emotionally, and we can go ahead. But he was patient enough to, you know, go through that journey with me, because I know that this particular journey, like particular topic, is really not something we talk about often. But and I feel like for even young survivors too, we should talk about it. So it was a struggle for me, but I had to, like, you know, he had to encourage me at the same time. And I will say that we are getting there. Thank you.
Wow, that's a good one. Dennis, you're going to throw briefly because I
Yeah.
don't just want to hear from the woman perspective alone. We should also hear
Yes.
from the male perspective. Yes.
Yes. I think it's the part that most people don't actually talk about. You know, and this is where the men get it all wrong, especially concerning the prostate. Because the first information is that, look, if you have it and there's a need for a surgery, if you decide on surgery, then you experience erectile dysfunction. And the moment they look at your wife like this, they say this guy has a prostate. They look at your wife like somebody would like say, man, I mean, go take over your wife. You know, they'll just be sizing you up. The first thing I observe, what other men do when they do. They like, this man cannot do again. You know, so they start to feel like that, and that is why most men they don't want to come out to do this test. But here I am. The assurance is that the earlier you get it, and the earlier you spot this cancer and you remove it from your system, you get your body back. As they say, you get your mojo back. So I've had to talk to some men, and the first thing they ask you say, now one thing they kill a man. It's better I die that I'm still a man than the moment they remove that thing, you are not a man again, you are korofo. You know, and it's just the nature of man that we are very egoistic, and want to, and that is what is causing the situation that most men don't want to go to hospital. They don't want to get screened. They don't want to know that this is the issue they have, and it's killing a lot of men. So, but my assurance, and the doctor that treated me, Dr. Ogo, gave us the assurance. And going back to what you said, that when both of us were with the doctor, we looked at all this angle, and there was assurance that, look, the moment you do your surgery, you get back to normal. Your sexual performance will get back. And thank God for this. And we are 3 years gone, and we are good. Oh, I should ask my wife.
Damn, wow. Maybe you should ask her. But I'm sure she will say yes. You can't come all this long way and then it's no. She will say yes because you're even mentioning it with confidence. So
Yes.
I agree with it. And these are the things that actually happens. We don't want to talk about it, but that is just the truth. And for the women, it's even much more difficult. Just like Duchess mentioned, it is much more difficult because naturally women are hormonal beings. And then when you start taking these medications that messes up with your hormones, you don't even want it. You don't, you think first before wanting the intimacy, right? And then all of a sudden you're looking at yourself as being ugly, not being enticing to your husband. So it's a huge, problem. People may just say, what's the big deal? He has accepted you, he is there. No, we women work with feelings. If we are not sound in the mood, hey, nothing happens. And that is the truth. So we need to talk about this. And in that case, we would even need our men to also understand us and even be more patient. So that in case that happens, let them know that this is the reason, not because we are not appreciating them. Because at a time, some will feel, oh, I stayed behind, I stood by her, I did this, I showed her all the love. What is it? And just like you said, men that will say, if this one come out, then we don't, what's the essence of being alive, that's it. So yeah, we need to talk about it. And I realize in this journey that couples that have discussions comes out better because they make decisions that will benefit both parties. So maybe this one will just take I just want like a sentence. What do you think caregivers need that they don't always receive? I just want a sentence so that we can wrap up maybe in the next 10 minutes because we are almost at the end of our question so that we can allow our viewers to ask their questions. So let me start with Mariam. What do you think caregivers need that they don't always receive?
I think they need to feel seen, to be sincere. At that point when we are going through it, they need to feel seen. They need to feel loved. They need to feel that they don't need our permission to let them know that, okay, they can also be tired. They are human beings. For me, that is just, they just need love. They need more love. They need from us to get angry less, because at that point we are angry, we are everything, our emotions are up there. So they need to feel a little bit of love from the people they are actually taking care of. For me, that's just it.
Super. That was more than a sentence anyway. Dennis.
Okay, for me, I think they need three things. They need information, they need support, and they need recognition. Those are the three things that will help them. The information is, the situation, they need to be carried along in every space, whatever the situation is, they need to be informed. What is the next thing? Information is key. Then the support is that let us also acknowledge, just like Miriam said, that look, there are times get weak, they are afraid, and those things we need to appreciate them. Then the final one is the recognition. We need to recognize that look, it is important. What you are doing is important for the healthy or healthiness of the cancer champion.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay, Duchess.
I think I will still go with support, because we should stop assuming that because somebody is a caregiver, they are automatically strong. Because sometimes we want to check up more on the patient and we forget the caregivers. So yes, the caregivers also need support. Caregivers also need someone to check up on them. If possible, get a therapy. They need a therapy with all the shege that they have gone through. They need someone to talk to. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. So with all the shaking they have gone through, they actually need a therapist, and I agree with you because it's not easy. We are just thinking of how do we cope with medication? They are thinking of things, even how to take care of you while you are coping with the medication, and then they also have a life. I remembered my elder sister had to leave her husband to come and stay with me when I was going through chemo. and I knew what that cost her. So sometimes these are the things we somehow seem to neglect, but we should be more grateful. We should show gratitude. And so I'm going to go, this round is the final round. And the way we are going to approach it, every question starts with Mariam, then Dennis, and then Duchess. So each question just needs an answer. Piam, Piam, within 20 seconds, you have answered it. So if I ask the question, Mariam tells me, Dennis answers, and Duchess answers, and I ask the next one. So I want it to be fast. I hope we have done question and answer in the class before. This is what we are going to do. So let's be on our feet and then go for this. Is that okay?
Okay. All right.
Good. So we call it quick round question. Within 5 minutes, we are done. Then we are going to open the floor to questions from our viewers. So first, Mariam, one word to describe your caregiver. One word.
Oh my goodness. Please, can you come back to me later?
Please, one word.
Loving. That's just it. Loving. Is a loving person.
Selflessly strong. I don't know. That's what just came to my head. Selflessly strong.
Duchess.
Selfless.
Oh, super. So the next question, one thing every caregiver should know. Just tell me what I mean. I want you to tell me from this question is, what would you, if your caregiver is standing right in front of you, what is it you want to tell him or her? So, Mariam.
Okay, so I want to tell my husband that I truly appreciate all his efforts back then and even till now, even though I never showed it to him. I would have said, thank you more, I love you more, but I never get to say that because I was looking at surviving more.
Great. That is...
just to... in our language, English language, you don't have thank you, is a word that you say, but in the local languages, if there's any other words in English that you can use for thank you, is for going through the journey, because it's a journey. It's not ended anyway, so it's a journey for going through the journey, and especially the ups and downs, the quarrels, and the laughing part, the excitement part, and all the entire journey. Just to say thank you, and God bless you.
Amen. Duchess.
I would say that I see all the work, and I love you. Thank you.
Wow, straight. So next round of question, one thing every cancer patient should remember. Mariam.
One thing every cancer patient should remember is they are never alone in this journey. Together, we fight together.
Beautiful. Dennis.
I think I go back to, it is never too late. Your strong support, just as in the Bible, it say, Peter, you are the rock, this is just typically the caregiver is your rock, and you pray you meet your rock so that the healing process will be, faster for you. Very, very important.
Duchess.
Okay, I would say that you are not a burden.
The next question is the biggest lesson cancer taught you about family. Mariam.
Okay, so the biggest lesson for me was I never knew I could get so much love from my family until cancer happened to me, and I had to just trust them, and they gave it to me all out. So I think that's the biggest lesson for me. It taught me to trust, and I did, and I got the love and the support I needed.
Super. Fantastic. Dennis, can we hear from you?
I think family is your stronghold. Without the family, you are nowhere. So family support is a very critical part of the healing process. So that is what cancer told me. And the closest person to your family is your wife. So I enjoyed every man, to hook up. There's no point in hiding, especially illness. There's no point in hiding illness. Just be open, and the healing or the survivor will be faster.
Wow. Yeah. Duchess.
Okay, I'll say that presence matters a lot. Maybe being just there to listen, even when I'm ranting, I don't know what to say, and just being there. So for me, I appreciate the presence of my caregiver.
Beautiful. So now, in a split second, 10 seconds each, what does being a cancer champion mean to you today? That is the final question before we go to the audience and our viewers.
For me, being a cancer champion means using my experience beyond, my survivor to help others who is also going through this. Yeah, that's just it basically. Helping other people.
Dennis?
It's for me, it's taught me to uh, use my story to ensure that more men go for screening, because I go back to the word early detection saves lives.
Exactly. Duchess?
Sorry, I didn't get the question. I think the network at some point.
Okay, what does being a cancer champion mean to you today?
Okay, yeah, I can see I can see it on the screen. I would say that turning my experience into hope and supporting other cancer survivors and letting them know that they are not alone, especially young survivors, because they're like, I'm young, or I'm this, or I'm that, but they are not alone because I've seen young survivors survive, and I know that they can also survive too. So, yes.
Wow. Beautiful. So we are going to go over to the audience. Are there questions? Are there questions? Busayo, are you there? Are there questions for us? Because we have had a wonderful and powerful conversations this evening or this afternoon, depending on where you are watching us from. And so, yeah. Are there questions?
There's a question on the screen, but I can't read it. It's too small, I think.
Okay, let me see if I can. Oh my God, let me see. Let me see if I can increase my screen. Okay, it said the first question, please, I want to know what best to do to keep pushing, as in food and body care.
We don't know whether it's a male or female.
So, who does? I don't know whether it's a male or a female, but I think there should be general advice. Okay, Mariam, can we meet you on this?
But sorry, Ma, can you repeat the question, please?
The viewer is asking, please, I want to know what best to do to keep pushing, as in food and body care. So it's not just food, also body care.
Body care. Okay, so I think I would just encourage that. See, eat as much as you can when you have enough, and try to eat healthy. I always tell people eating healthy, most times it won't even cost us much, but because we are focused on the big things, we can plant things around our house and all that. And for your body, I'll say, see, rest. You don't take permission to take rest. When you need it, please rest, because by the time something knocks out, it will be too hard for you. So rest, take a lot of water and prayer. That's just it. Eat well, rest well, and your prayer. That is what is keeping most of us, I think.
And I will also add, stay away from toxicity. That's one of
Yes.
the things that gives us. In fact, there's a kind of study that they have made that most people that come down with this disease were going through one crisis or the other. So stay away from toxicity. You can't solve all problems. So that's my own little contribution. So any other question?
Let me also chip in a little about the
Okay.
food, and basically, I'm talking about nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unfortunately for us here, this side of the world, carbohydrate is a major staple in our food. Everything we eat, come down to sugar. So we need to eat. What's the word now? We need to eat like a wise person. You know, you don't necessarily have to abstain from food, but what you just need to do is your portion. Portion is key. And I know there's so many campaigns about, especially on social media, concerning herbs, using of herb. I'm talking for prostate cancer anyway. They say use soursop
Cassava
leaf,
leaf.
and use what's the other one? There are so many things on the social
You
media. Don't
chew,
believe,
eat raw cassava.
yeah, so many things like that. Don't just believe in all those things. Just moderation is the word, and eat fruit if you can afford it. Those are the
Okay.
key things that you will need to observe for your body and your health.
Thank you, Dennis. I wanted to know if there are more questions because we've stayed 1 hour and 23 minutes, almost 1.5 hours. And are there
There's
any
a
more
question again.
questions? What kind of
There's a
support
question
was most
again.
meaningful to you? Emotional? Is it emotional, physical, or spiritual? So, Duchess, can we hear you on this? The kind of support that was most meaningful to you.
Okay, I will say all of the above because
Oh,
yeah, yes, because sometimes emotionally you just need someone to, send you a message, check up on you, because there are some days that even with everybody, with your spouse and everybody around you, you feel like you are lonely, you are
Yeah,
tired. But
no,
having someone to chat up, like send you message, ask you questions like how are you doing, and asking you how are you doing, and be ready to wait for the response, because sometimes we ask how are you, and immediately we don't want to hear because they're like, oh, you want to complain, or but but someone that is there to listen to you, and then physically, spiritually, like I love music, yes, so I channel some of my energy to music, prayers, and just connect, like Presido talk about, like do away with toxic people, which is very, very important, because it will actually help you to filter, and those people who are for you. So yeah, so I think all of the above for me.
oh,
Yeah.
super. Any other question? Ah, a suggestion. Great. Someone is suggesting that on Caregivers Forum, wow, should be part of the education held before or during treatment for every patient caregiver. We are already doing an onco clinics Africa. It's really a good moment. And I think this is just powerful because from everything, the three of our guests, their spouses were there from the beginning. and their spouses were able to walk this journey with them. They were able to ask the right questions. In fact, they knew what to expect, and they were so encouraging. And so I agree with that suggestion that there should be like caregivers forum, and that caregivers should be part of this process. So thank you for that suggestion. It's a beautiful one. Thank you, Chizoba Abuche Ude. Thank you. So any other question or suggestion or contribution? Okay, I guess that's the last one. Oh, okay. Temitokbe Adekoya says, thank God for our caregivers. We appreciate you all. Husband of my youth, I am grateful for all you have been doing. This is powerful. Yeah. Good one. Any other? Let's keep it coming. I love this. I like good news.
We need to go.
We actually need to go.
And
So,
I think like the suggestion, I think we should do more of, celebrating our caregivers more, because yes, more
It will
oftentimes we hear
encourage others.
people push more of the, spouse, abandoning them, but we also have other spouse that are still there, so we can also push that too.
good, great.
Yeah, very good.
So, we are all good to go. We've spent so much time. I won't go through all the remaining questions because I think we have really, really, really done well. So, for each and every one of us watching out there, please, if you are caring for a loved one with cancer, try to listen to them, be patient with them, and if you're also watching us and somebody tells you or a relative tells you, I have cancer, please reach out. Even if you don't have money, just your words alone can do a lot of good for a cancer patient. And we are using this opportunity to say thank you so much to all our caregivers. And we appreciate all our viewers. We appreciate NCCP. We appreciate our chairman, Dr. Uche, Professor Nedina, all our the TWG members for this opportunity to present. And to our fellow cancer champions, you are simply the best.
Thank you, ma.
Keep fighting, and by God's grace, we'll keep on winning by His grace. So watch out for your caregiver, show him or her love. Also, ask your caregiver, how are you? That's we say thank you and goodbye to everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye
Thank you
bye.
very